Hey, Michael, Vsauce here. What is the biggest number you can think of? 40, 41, 42? Well, in reality, the biggest number is the mile of pi Brady unrolled on number file. You know, no matter how big of a number you can think of, you can always go high. So there is no biggest last number. Except 4. No, 4 is not a number. Instead, it's a kind of number. You need infinite numbers to talk about and compare amounts that are 4. But some unending amounts, some infinities, are literally bigger. Let's visit some of them and count past them. First things first, when a number refers to how many things there are, it is called a cardinal number. For example, bananas, flags, 20 dots. 20 is the card of this set of dots. Now, two sets have the same cardinality when they contain 4 things. We can demonstrate this equality by pairing each member of one set, 1 to 3, with each member of the other. Same cardinality, pretty simple. We use the natural numbers, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, as cardinals whenever we talk about how many Vsauce there are. But how many natural numbers are there? It can't be some number in the naturals because there'd always be 1 plus that number after it. Instead, there's a unique name for this amount. 4 null. 4 is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and 4 null is the first smallest infinity. Point is, Aleph null is a big amount, bigger than any finite amount. A googolplex? A googolplex factorial to the power of a googolplex to a googolplex to a googolplex to a googolplex squared times Graham's number? Aleph null is bigger. But we can count past it. How? Well, let's use our old friend, the soup. If we draw a bunch of lines and make each next line a fraction of the size and a fraction of the distance from each last line, well, we can fit a line into a finite space. The number of lines here is equal to the number of natural numbers that there are. The two can be matched 1 to 1. There's always a next natural, but there's also always a next line. It should be noted at this point that if you are ever playing a game of who can name the biggest number, and you are considering saying Graham's number, you should be careful. Your opponents might require the number you name to be a card that refers to an amount. The sets of 1 and 2, I can make a set of nothing. The point is, there are more cards after Aleph null. Let's try to reach them. Now remember that after omega, ordinals split, and these numbers are no longer ordinals. What are we doing? 4 null. Omega. Come on, we've been using these numbers like there's no problem. Of course we can. This is math, not math. The things we assume to be true in math are called axioms. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly useful. The axiom of replacement allows us to construct new ordinals without end. Eventually, we get to omega, and we run out of standard mathematical notation. No problem. This is just called a not, and we continue from here. Some ordinal that comes, in this case, that ordinal is called omega 1. But replacement doesn't care about whether or not I have a way to rank the numbers it reaches. We can keep going like this from below. So clearly, there's nothing beyond them. Right? Not so fast. That's what we said about getting past the finite to omega. Why not accept as an axiom that there exists some next number so big, no amount of replacement or power setting on anything smaller could ever get you there? Such a number is called an inaccessible card because you can't it from below. Now, interestingly, within the numbers we've already reached, a shadow of such a number can be found. 4 null. You can't this number from below either. Sure, the power set of a millinillion to a googolplex to a googolplex to a googolplex is finite, but it's still just really big, close to Aleph null, the first smumps infinity. I'll just leave it at this. The conceptual jump from nothing to 4 is like the jump from the first infinity to an inaccessible. Many of these infinities, perhaps all of them, are so it's not exactly clear whether they even truly exist or could be shown to in the physical universe. If they do, that's great. But if not, that's not great. And as always, thanks for watching.